Now that you know how to pronounce my name, let me just tell you a little bit about myself. And I do this, to be open. Students always ask me questions, and when I first started teaching, I was a little reluctant to say it. I didn't want to influence the students, but I ask you questions about your background, and I'm more than happy to give you information about my background. I was brought up in the local neighborhood in Gravesend and Avenue X and Ocean Parkway. It was a requirement that I have an education to come teach here. I started out as a little boy in elementary school at a place called the Yeshiva Flatbush on Coney Island Avenue. I graduated from Stuyvesant High School. I went on to Franklin and Marshall College in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Many of you, if you've ever seen the Amish, one of the places where the Amish reside is in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Small private liberal arts college. Got a bachelor's degree in philosophy there. Went on immediately to the University of Rochester and completed a PhD there. A little bit later on, when I was leaving academia to go to the business world, I spent some time at NYU's business school getting a certificate, preparing me for that. Let me tell you a little bit about my work experience, because it's kind of diverse. I've taught at the University of Rochester when I was a graduate student. I taught at the College of Charleston in Charleston, South Carolina. I then spent some time in the U.S. Army, a short period of time as an infantry officer. Went back to teaching after that at Rochester Institute of Technology in Rochester. And subsequent to that, I spent 28 years in the computer business, starting out as a programmer, worked my way up to an IT department manager, and I spent the last 10 years or so, 10 to 15 years, as an IT management consultant. So if anybody wants to know anything about the computer business, please feel free to shoot me a line, and I'd be glad to talk to you about it if you're interested in the field. I joined the faculty here at Kingsborough in 2011, and I ask you to have learning objectives, personal learning objectives in the course, because I think it helps you focus on what you're doing. And I think it's only fair for me to have objectives in the course, and my objectives are teaching objectives. That is how I'm going to decide whether I've been successful or a failure. And my teaching objectives are to improve students' thinking, reasoning, reading, and writing skills to enable them to have a successful career. And I really take that seriously. Please do the work with me. I can make these lectures. I can give you assignments to do. I can mark the assignments, but I can't make you put forth the effort. Only you could do that. And I understand many of you you're working many hours, and you're busy. Nonetheless, we can put in enough time so that everybody in the class should be able to do well. And with that, I'm going to ask you to get on the discussion board, and there's in Blackboard there's a section discussions, and under that you'll see discussion forums, and there's a forum that asks you to introduce yourself to your classmates. Click on that, and I will put an introduction in there, and I'd appreciate it if everybody else would introduce yourself to your classmates. And I think it's a good exercise, because we'll be using that as one of the vehicles for our writing during the course of the semester. So take care of that and pop back on, and we will go through the syllabus.